Hey, everybody, welcome to the webinar. My name is Richard Paul, and I'm going to try to fly through this as quick as possible. In today's video, what we're going to cover is starting your own networking group and how we're actually going to help you start that networking group and grow it all for you. So this video is really designed for really any type of small business owners, whether you're an insurance agent, a financial planner, loan officer, realtor, CPA, attorney, contractor, doctor, really doesn't matter. If you want to have the authority or be the authority in your networking group, get more referrals, and make some more money, that's what we're going to talk about today. A little bit about us. We were founded in 2010, really with a mission to help small business owners grow their business on referrals. We've helped, like all those people that you just saw on the last slide, we've helped thousands of people across the nation since 2010, not only grow their business on referrals, but also grow different networking groups. Currently, we actually just launched this networking group piece about a year and a half ago. We currently have about 16 chapters. Last year was really our beta test. I'm getting this up and running, making sure everything worked, and making sure that our hosts actually make really good money. And so we'll go through that a little bit. A couple things as far as why we want to start our own networking group. We've all been to networking groups, and we all know that the main person that's hosting this networking group is the person that gets the most referrals, right? And in today's world, growing our business on referrals, we all know, doesn't matter what we do, the referral is the best source for new clients, because we know that more than likely, whether it's a referral from a current client or a referral from another professional, we probably are going to do business with that person. And so a couple of reasons why we want to start a networking group are just those things. If we're the authority, we're the person that's heading up the networking group, we're that main center of influence, we're going to get more referrals. And then lastly, the cool thing about starting your own networking group is you can make more residual money. Anywhere, our average group makes about anywhere from $700 to about $2,000, $1,700 a month per group. We have some people that host one group. We have some people that host 3 or 4 groups. Totally up to you, and we'll talk about that as we go through. Now, if you've ever been to a typical networking group, there's a few challenges to it, right? A lot of times, one of the biggest challenges is just going to the group. A lot of them are like 7 o'clock in the morning for breakfast, and there's just things in everybody's life that comes up, and sometimes we just can't make breakfast, right? They're only on Zoom, or sometimes they're only in person, and so that's really a challenge because sometimes like Zoom, it has its advantages because if we can't make the breakfast, we can obviously jump on Zoom a lot easier because we don't really have to leave our house, or we could do it while we're driving. But the downfall to it also is that you don't get that one-on-one interaction a lot of times where you can actually press the flesh or really shake somebody's hands. Another challenge is a lot of times when we're getting a networking group off to a start, or maybe you got invited from a friend, which is typically the way they grow these groups. There's only 5 or 10 people. And really, in order to make this work, we need to be closer to about a 20 to 30, 35 person group in order to have a big enough group for everybody where everybody's getting referrals. And those are some of the challenges that we're actually going to solve as we go through this today. Another big area, and this is probably one of the main areas that we focus in on, number 4, is they don't leverage social media. Unless you live under a rock, you know the power of social media. We've all heard the stories of people, and not only people, just kids, making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars utilizing social media. And so for us, when we started this project, we were really like, well, what are the challenges with some of these networking groups, and how come none of them use social media? It seems like they're all kind of, stuck in the Stone Age where they don't leverage the power of the internet. So we're going to talk about that pretty heavily as we go through this. No training. That's one of the other big things is a lot of people come to these networking groups. Maybe we're not the best salesperson. We really don't know how to, explain exactly what we do or who the best clients are. And so we just show up and say, well, hi, I'm an insurance agent, or hi, I'm a contractor. And that's really about it. And we really don't get into the specifics. And that's one of the things that we try and solve is give you as a host and as a member tools on how we can properly convey our business. And then the biggest one that most people really hate are monthly quotas, right? You show up to these groups, you pay to be part of them, you show up to breakfast or, to Zoom. And then if you don't give 2 referrals by the end of the month, they're like, hey, we're going to give you another month. If you don't give us some referrals, then we're going to go, we're going to boot you out. And it's like, well, man, that's not really fair. I've been showing up and doing my part. I just didn't seem to talk to somebody about they need a plumbing project in the last, week or month or even year. So these are the kind of some of the things that we're going to talk about and solve as we go through this today. So a couple of the reasons why we're different. We harness the power of utilizing social media. This is a big, huge piece to our puzzle because we know that if we can push each other's businesses out on social media, the likelihood of us not only getting referrals, but also leads, right? Like referrals are absolutely fantastic, but a referral online is just as powerful. Or if somebody sees a review or somebody sees, a podcast or, a spotlight or something about you that somebody else posted, that's almost as good as a referral in today's world. And so that's one of the things that we harness. We harness the power of all of the members' social media accounts. And if you really think about social media today, most people have multiple channels. They've got Facebook, they've got Instagram, they've got LinkedIn. And if you combine all of those, the average person has about 2,000 people that they have access to, 2,000 people with eyeballs that they can put your business in front of. And if we all, come together and we have a group of 20 or 30 people and you multiply that by 2,000, I mean, that's tens of thousands of people possibly in your local area that not only can get you, we can get your business in front of, but also we can also get other group members in front of as well. So that's one thing that we're going to kind of highlight. A couple of the reasons why we're a little bit different is we do spotlight interviews. These are super powerful because they're like little mock interviews. And this is something that you all will be responsible for as a host is doing these spotlight interviews where it's basically like a Zoom interview, right? We jump on Zoom, it's 7 to 10 minutes. We're going to ask them about their business, and then all the other group members are actually going to post this across the internet on their social media channels and push those people out there to get more eyeballs. And that's one thing that a lot of networking groups don't do at all. Again, not harnessing the power of social media, but sometimes when we think about social media, a lot of times most of us aren't really sure what to do about it. So we give you the tools as a host to spotlight two different businesses each week and push them out in front of everybody's audience. It's super powerful. Another thing is we actually set up groups on Facebook, groups or pages. We're all very familiar with them. We're all probably in at least a couple of groups, and we basically set these up for you, and then have all of the members actually invite people. So let's say we have like this one right here is PDX Business. This is one of our local pages. We actually each of our members goes in and invites people that are in the local area to this page. The power of this is that as we're building this page of not just group members, we're also building it of community members where we can again get more eyeballs. The goal in business is always to get as many eyeballs on your business as possible because you're never sure when that person or a person is going to need what you do. So we really try to leverage that as we go through this process and build these groups to where we can get as many eyeballs as possible. And the local group is super crucial because we can invite people, and each time that we post, whether that's because we're doing a spotlight, or we just want to make a post because we're having a special of some sort, or maybe a sale like Black Friday or the beginning of the year, or whatever that looks like, we can get more eyeballs on our business. So we try to give a lot of tools as we're building this group, not just this place where we all have breakfast, shake each other's hands, and then go off about our week. Another thing, we pre-schedule everybody's one-on-ones. Usually when you go to a networking group, right, there's 20, 30 people, and then there's little micro pods, right? Maybe there's the contractors over here, the financial people over here, the doctors over here, and everybody kind of stays in their little groups, and we don't really get that chance to meet everybody else, because if you don't go over there and shake their hand, or they don't come over and shake your hand, you're probably not ever going to have a one-on-one with them. So as we go through this and we're building the group, we actually pre-schedule the one-on-one so you get a chance to meet every single person in that group. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. It might take a couple of months to meet everybody, but we pre-schedule those so that way it's in everybody's calendar that, hey, each week we got a one-on-one with one of our group members, getting to know them and possibly getting referrals from them as well as they learn about our business and we learn about their business. Another tool is we encourage everybody in the group to review each other's businesses. If you go online right now and you're looking for a local Thai restaurant, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see a list of people or a list of restaurants. There's going to be some of them that have a lot of reviews, some of them that are not going to have so many reviews. And getting reviews is a challenge for a lot of businesses. So we as the group want to go out and review them. It doesn't mean that we've done business with them. We don't have to review it or like say something that's not true. We can just, talk about that person or, the experience that we had with them as we were sitting down. Any positive review online, no matter how it's framed, is very, very powerful. So this is one of the things that we help. We also give you technology to every single member and as a host, to not only ask the group members for reviews, but also for your current clients or past clients. And that's one of the main barriers. If you don't ask for a review, a lot of times somebody's not going to give it to you. So we give you the technology in order to make that happen, to where you can get more 5-star reviews and rank yourself and your business a little bit higher in the search engines. Last thing, we don't have any quotas. So part of the reason why we don't have any quotas is because as we're going through and building this group, and we're all networking, we're doing one-on-ones, we're doing the spotlights, because we're utilizing the power of social media and getting a lot of eyeballs as a group on each other's businesses, we end up getting referrals and leads through that process. So we really don't feel that you need to come into the group, fill out a little piece of paper twice a month, and and a lot of times when people fill those out, they kind of feel like a little pressure, where they're like, I don't have my 2 referrals. Let me just kind of almost make them up. And so you give this referral to another group member, and it's almost like that other group member's cold calling them, because they're like, well, I actually didn't even ask to talk to you, right? And so we don't have any quotas of any type. Obviously, we do have some expectations of the group members on pushing people out on social media, and we'll talk about those in a few minutes. But as far as quotas, we don't have any. So how does this work? We're going to actually help you build the initial group, and we're going to do that through a couple different ways. The first way we already talked a little bit about, we're going to start up a page for you, or possibly purchase a page that is specific to your city. And the reason why we want to do it in your city, because it has local people that you can have access to. And we're going to help build that page to where it's not only just group members, but it's also community members. Like I talked about, all the members have the ability to post in there about their business and what's going on and things like that. We're also, as we build the group, we're going to utilize other types of groups and pages that are out there. If you go on, Facebook, Instagram, or wherever you want to go, there are specific pages for your city, whether that's chit chat pages, or for sale pages, or business pages, or whatever those look like. And so we're actually going to post in those groups, inviting people to the group. This is one of the most powerful things in the way we build the groups, because we can get a lot of eyeballs of other local business owners around the area that will be, or will want to be, part of the group. The other way we're going to do it is we're going to direct message people on Facebook and LinkedIn. This is super powerful also. A lot of times, maybe in each group has a little bit of a challenge with a specific type of seat. We have some groups that are very exclusive. We have some people that allow multiple people in the same industry. Either way, we're going to just go out there and directly invite people. So if we're needing a bookkeeper, or we're needing an attorney, or a contractor of some sort, we can just go on Facebook, look them up, or on LinkedIn, send them a message, and invite them to the group. So we do all of this for you. The reason why we do all this for you is because a lot of times when we start a group, right? Or if you've ever been to a networking group and there's those 5 or 10 people, really it's up to those people to invite other business owners into the group. And sometimes that works really quickly, and sometimes it doesn't. We want to be able to grow your group in about a 30 to 60-day sprint, because we find if we can grow the group really quickly, people tend to stick around, because you're only going to go to a group so many times that have 5 to 10 people before you're going to be like, this isn't really a benefit to me to show up every week if I'm not getting referrals. And the reason we're not getting referrals is just because, one, we don't have all the other tools, and 2, there's just not enough people. So it's going to take us about 30, 60 days to get to that 20 to 30 member mark. We're also, as a host, we're going to give you all of our templates and all of our training. So we're going to give you the meeting structure and how that's going to look. We're going to give you the slideshows that you're going to need to run the meeting each week. We're going to give you the breakout session training on how we're going to actually segment this during the meeting. We're going to put everybody in little tiny pods, and we're going to cycle them around so everybody gets a few minutes to talk to other members. Very similar to one-on-ones, but it's going to be like 3 to 5 people typically. We're going to give training to all the members, and especially you, the host, on the elevator pitch. The reason why we give this training is so that way people can go through it and actually give a pretty decent commercial about their business and who they need as a referral. We're going to give you the member spotlight script. So each week when you're interviewing 2 of the members, we just give you a script. It's a 7 to 10 minute script. You jump on Zoom, you hit record, and you're done, right? And we also utilize that as the host as your one-on-one for the week. So you actually get 2 one-on-ones each week with members. And the cool thing about being the host, again, you have that authority where you're going to do the member spotlight. It's a 7 to 10 minute. Then you're going to have anywhere from 20 minutes to about an hour where you can actually talk to them about their business. They can talk to you about their business, and that's a great place to get referrals. We're going to talk about where and how to post. A lot of this stuff we actually do for you, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. And then review training. How are we going to get more reviews? We all know the power of reviews, and we're going to give not only you, but also the members all training and technology on the reviews. So all of that's included. We really try to make sure all of this is super easy for you to where you can basically just show up each week, execute the meetings, do the spotlights, and then go about the rest of your week. So as a commitment, everybody's wondering, well, what do I got to do as the host? Well, you're basically committing to, as a host, to host the meeting each week. We do have some people that do bi-weekly. We don't ever suggest doing it just monthly because the further you space these out, and it's not on people's calendar each week or every other week, a lot of times it gets lost. Sometimes weekly, you look at your attendance, and not everybody's attending because something comes up, and that's okay. So we usually suggest to do it weekly, but either way, weekly or bi-weekly, you're going to host that 60 to 90-minute meeting. You're basically going to go through the slides. You're going to introduce the members. They're going to do their 60 to 90-minute or 60 to 90-second commercial, and then you're going to introduce the next member. You're going to wrap up the meeting and all that. So it's super easy to host a meeting. There's no, you don't got to be technical or anything like that. Excuse me. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to do 2 member spotlights. Now, the member spotlights are just an interview on Zoom. So don't get very discouraged about this, or like, oh my gosh, I got to be technical, or I need all the sound equipment or lighting or anything like that. It's literally a Zoom call where we're going to give you a script. You're going to interview that person. It's going to be 7 to 10 minutes. You're going to click record. You're going to download it. You're going to post it. Super simple. But we also use those as your one-on-ones, because if you're already on the topic about talking about their business, you just interviewed them, you have a lot of follow-up questions. And then also, because you have follow-up questions, they're going to have questions about your business. It's a great time to do that. So total, as far as time that you're really looking to commit, is a maximum of about 3 hours total in a week. Some people that's totally okay with. Some people that it's like, okay, well, that's a little bit pushing it, but about 3 hours a week is what I want you to ballpark if you're going to host one of these groups. We're going to ask that you post in the group. So after the only post that you're really going to need to do is, once you've done the spotlight, you've downloaded the Zoom, recording to your computer, you're just going to basically upload that into the Facebook page that we set up for you. And then new member enrollment. This is super easy as well. We take care of all the billing. We take care of commissions. We take care of, all of that kind of stuff. All you got to do is send them a link. So super, super easy. Everything else we literally handle. So we try to make this as hands-off, like I said, for you as a host. All you're really committing to is being the host, doing the spotlights, posting in the groups, and being that authority as we roll through this. Now, here's where the income opportunity comes in. We have 3 pricing plans for our members. We can either do it yearly, every 6 months, or monthly, depending on somebody's budget. We do want people to commit for a minimum of 6 months. You can see that middle one right there, which is not really as popular as the first one or the last one, but we have it there. We want them to commit for the year. The reason why we want to do that is because if somebody puts their money where their mouth is, they're going to show up more than likely. If somebody doesn't pay, then they're probably not going to. So as you can see, this is kind of the sweet spot for our groups: 20, 25, 30, 35 members. Once we get past about 35 members, we tend to actually split the groups into 2 and then grow those groups back to about that 25 to 35 mark, because we know not everybody's going to show up every week, right? We're probably going to have about an 80% show up rate, maybe 90% show up rate. So we want at least 20 people each week, 20 to 25 people each week showing up. So that way everybody gets a chance to get referrals. But if you look at this, $16,000, $21,000, $25,000 per group. Like I was saying at the very beginning of this webinar, we have some hosts that host 1 group, and we have other people that, host anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe 4. We really don't have anybody that hosts more than that, because then it almost becomes a full-time job. But at the same time, if you look at these numbers, you have 3 or 4 different groups. A lot of times that's almost a full-time income. All you're doing is being a host in groups, which is pretty easy. So the big question is how much of it do you want? We have commission splits anywhere from 20% all the way up to 80%. Like I said, $700 to about $1,700 to about $2,000 per month. Obviously, the biggest question in your head is there investment? Yes, there is. And that's where the commission splits come from. The more money you put up front, the more money you're going to get in residual income. We have some people that start with only 1 group and start at a really low commission split, and then we have other people that are like, hey, I want this to be an actual residual income if I'm going to spend my time there. And so we can talk about that on a call. So if you're ready to get started, or if you just have more questions, we're going to put a link above or below this video where we can jump on a one-on-one call, answer those questions, kind of go through strategy and how we're going to implement this to actually get you into a point where you're running your own network group, you're getting the most referrals, and you're making a residual income. So if you have any questions, go ahead and book a call and let's chat.